Alright, you see this new little pattern here? So I just started back on the vacuum. We're going into almost 8 minutes. See that little pattern going there? Now all I did was I moved my vacuum gauge off of this T at this ball valve. When the last video I was measuring the hose with the tank. This time I moved the valve right here. I shut off the valve here at first. It's back open now, but I put it back on here, and all I did was change the position, and now instead of having a flat line when it's doing vacuum, now what you'll see is that the peaks, if you look at the peaks, well, that one got a little bit bigger, but if you actually look at the spacing in between the peaks, it's getting a little bit longer. So if we look at this peak, let me get the peak, let me move it this way, let's see if I can grab it. Okay, so we are at 3 minutes and 43 seconds, 3 minutes and 31 seconds, 5 minutes and 19 seconds, 6 minutes and 14 seconds. That was exactly 1 minute. 7 minutes and 5 seconds. 8 minutes and 7 seconds. So you can see they're just barely getting slightly longer and longer spaced in between each peak. And on top of that, what you'll also notice is that the vacuum is on a downward plane going down. So if you left this vacuum on long enough, eventually those little peaks of moisture coming out will disappear, and the vacuum is on a steady downhill plane. Because I moved it and I removed and exposed this surface right there to a new surface because it depresses the pin. So what little tiny bit of moisture was available on the other side of the surface of the valve core is popping out right now from the little bit of, there's refrigerant oil inside there. So that means there's a little refrigerant oil in here and it's boiling out. And that's the timer just telling me it's been more than 5 minutes or so below its set point. So let's turn this off. So now we're gonna turn the valve, and I'll come back and put up a display of what the micron reading is. You're gonna see it jump because I'm gonna disturb it right here. So what you usually do is you crack this a little bit, see it jump up, down, go back open again, up, down, and you do this, you can see it jump over here. Because inside the valving, you'll disturb and there'll be a little bit of air trapped in your valving. Of course it passed. And so let's open it up all the way up. And we'll let it steady out. Now, that was where my valve opened up when I was touching the valve, and then you see right there, that's where I first touched the valve, and then I was wiggling the valve. Let's get it back down there. I was wiggling the valve, and that was that. And now, this is the vacuum decay. 86 microns. Do you see where, compared to the other video I just released a few minutes ago, do you see where the valve is located? I am taking the system. So this would be your car or your split system, your mini split, whatever it is. This would be your vehicle without rubber hoses. Did you see how the decay was continuously slowly going up with the rubber hose on it? This is a refrigerant charging hose. But do you see on a metal tank, 86.8 microns, 86.8 microns. That is because we no longer are looking at the vacuum of the rubber refrigerant charging hose that you should never try to take. If you want a good vacuum reading of your vacuum decay test, never include your hoses. Have your micron gauge on the system not on the hoses.